I started using drugs when I was 26. I had just moved back to South Carolina. I lived here when I was married to my husband. And when we got divorced, I moved to Florida. I had been seeing a pain management doctor when I lived in Florida, and they gave me medication, but I really didn't like it. I didn't take it. I had like a nightstand drawer of like prescriptions. Within a couple months of me being here, I met a guy, the guy that's the father of my children, and the first time that he kind of stayed over, he found that drawer, and I watched him take one of my pills and crush it up and snort it, and like I remember just being like so disgusted by that, you know? And I remember thinking like, this isn't the kind of relationship I want to be in. But there was like 4 other people with us, and they were all doing it, and I did do it. And I remember puking my guts up and loving it, you know? And that's sick. That's so sick. But I loved it. We had found out when our addiction really took off and like kind of skyrocketed that my mom's husband was molesting my daughter, who was 5 at the time. So we were kind of in that transition period of wanting to quit, but I was so shook up over that, and it was easy to use over that. It was easy to use that as an excuse. And it's crazy, you know, because everybody says that they would be there for you during times like that, but it felt like the doors were just closed, that nobody really wanted to hear what we had to say, that nobody wanted to support us. And looking back, I'll never be able to make up to my daughter that I wasn't there for her when I sit here and was crying that nobody was there for me, because I chose to use and over that instead of do whatever it was that I could have done. We had decided at one point that we were gonna stop using. I mean, and it was a big fight. It was like back and forth. One of us would want to quit and the other one wouldn't, and we would fight over that. And so finally we decided that we were gonna quit, and we got rid of everything, and we moved out of our house, and he quit his job. Like, we decided that that money would be too tempting when we were sick. So he quit working, and we kind of suffered through that sickness and was miserable. And then on day 3, somebody introduced us into something else, you know, and then so our addiction, we just kicked one drug and traded it for another. And really fast with that drug, like really, really fast, people started noticing. It was like nobody knew before. If they did know, they definitely didn't say anything. And people started noticing, they were accusing, they were saying things, and then, you know, DSS showed up. So the first time that I went to Serenity Place, they had taken my girls and put them in separate foster homes. And it was really about getting them home. You know, it was really about that. I think that at the time I thought that my head was in the right place and that I really did want it. But now looking back at the differences, I think that I needed that first time, and I needed that experience to kind of show me that there was another way, to teach me some things, and for that stuff to just really resonate with me. And you couldn't have told me that I would relapse again, you know. You couldn't have put that in my head as a thought at all. I just thought I had it all together. The thing to me that's so different about those times is the second time that I came, I was just beat down. I wasn't happy to be there. I was miserable. I was happy to have another chance, you know, but I was beating myself up for putting myself in that situation again. I remember the first meeting that I went to, sitting in the meeting, shaking, withdrawing, and being so miserable and just sharing about how much I hated everything. And that was my turning point that time around. You know, I heard everybody around me sharing that pain shared is pain lessened, and that it would get better. So I held on to that. I just did the same thing over and over until that joy really sparked. That meeting, I will never forget. I will never forget that meeting, because I think that taught me to find the joy in life, that it's not just going to come to me, that I have to find it. And from that moment on, I was willing to look for it. From moment one, there was never a feeling of judgment, and that, I think, is the best thing about the volunteers that we do have there, is that we don't ever feel judged by them or feel like they're judging our kids or judging us as addicts or the situation that we are in. You know, they're just loving. My name is Erika, and I graduated from Serenity Place in February of 2019, and I just had my first year clean actually this past Sunday, and it's the first one that I've celebrated, and I was so elated. Like, it's so surreal. I can't even believe like that I have a year clean, you know. And it feels like it's been forever, but it feels like it's been no time. And I can't wait to have more.